Day 13 of reading through the scriptures. And Abram went up from Mitzrayim into the south, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him. And Abram was very rich in livestock, and silver, and in gold. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the slaughter place which he had made there at first. And there Abram called on the name of Yahweh. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And at that time the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelled in the land. Then Abram said to Lot, Let there be no strife between you and me, between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. Is not all the land before you? Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I go to the right, or if you go to the right, then I go to the left. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw that all the plain of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. He saw all the plain of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Mitzrayim as you go toward sower. So Lot chose for himself all the plain of the Jordan, and Lot moved east. Thus they separated from each other, Abram dwelling in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelling in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent as far as Sodom. But the men of Sodom were evil and sinned before Yahweh, exceedingly so. And after Lot had separated from him, Yahweh said to Abram, Now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward, for all the land which you see I shall give to you and your seed forever. And I shall make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could count the dust of the earth, then your seed also could be counted. Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you. So Abram moved his tent, and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built a slaughter place there to Yahweh. And our next chapter is going to be Isaiah. Let's see if I can turn to that. Isaiah chapter 13. The message concerning Babel, which Yeshayahu, Isaiah son of Amoz, saw. Lift up a banner on the high mountain. Raise your voice to them. Wave your hand. Let them enter the gates of nobles. I have commanded my set-apart ones. I have also called my mighty men for my displeasure, my proudly exalting ones. The noise of an uproar in the mountains, like that of many people. A noise of uproar of the reigns of the nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts is gathering an army for battle. They are coming from a distant land, from the end of the heavens, even Yahweh and his weapons of displeasure, to destroy all the earth. Howl, for the day of Yahweh is near. It comes as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore all hands go limp, every man's heart melts. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They are in pain as a woman in labor. They are amazed at one another. Their faces aflame. See, the day of Yahweh is coming, fierce with wrath and heat of displeasure, to lay the earth waste and destroy its sinners from it. For the stars of the heavens and their constellations do not give off their light. The moon shall be dark at its rising, or the sun shall be dark at its rising, and the moon shall not send out its light. And I shall punish the world for its evil, and the wrong for their crookedness, and shall put an end to the arrogance of the proud, and lay low the pride of the ruthless. I shall make mortal men scarcer than fine gold, and mankind scarcer than gold of Ophir. So I shall make the heavens tremble, and the earth shall shake from her place, in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of the heat of his displeasure. And it shall be as the hunted gazelle, and as a sheep that no man takes up. Every man turns to his own people, and everyone flees his own land. Whoever is found is thrust through, and everyone taken falls by the sword. And their children are dashed to pieces before their eyes, their houses plundered, and their wives ravished. See, I am stirring up the Medes against them, who do not regard silver, and as for gold, they do not delight in it. And bows dash the young to pieces, and they have no compassion on the fruit of the womb. Their eye spares no children. And Babel, the splendor of reigns that the comeliness of the pride of the Casdim, as shall be as when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. She shall never be inhabited, nor be settled from generation to generation, nor shall the Arabian pitch tents there, nor shepherds rest their flocks there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be filled with owls. And ostriches shall dwell there, and wild goats frolic there. And hyenas shall cry in their citadels, and jackals in the pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days are not drawn out. And Psalms 13. How long would you forget me, O Yahweh, forever? How long would you hide your face from me? How long would I take counsel in my being, grief in my heart day by day? How long would my enemy be exalted over me? Look, answer me, O Yahweh, my Elohim. Enlighten my eyes, lest I sleep in death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. Lest my adversaries rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in your loving commitment. My heart rejoices in your deliverance. I sing to Yahweh because he has been good to me. And our last chapter today is Matthew chapter 13. Well, my marker's not quite right. Here we go. Well, that's not going to be... And on that day, Yeshua went out of the house and sat by the sea. And large crowds were gathered together to him, so that he went into a boat and sat down. And all the crowd stood on the beach. And he spoke to them much in parables, saying, See, the sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some indeed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. And others fell on rocky places where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, because they had no depth of soil. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered. And others fell among thorns, and the thorns came up and choked them. And others fell on good soil and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And the taught ones came and said to him, Why do you speak to them in parables? And he answering said to them, Because it has been given to you to know the secrets of the reign of the heavens. But it has not been given, but to them it has not been given. For whoever possesses, to him more shall be given, and he shall have overflowingly. But whoever does not possess, even what he possesses, shall be taken away. Taken from him, away from him. Because of this I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. And in them the prophecy of Yeshayahu is completely filled, which says, Hearing you shall hear, and by no means understand, and seeing you shall see, and by no means perceive. For the heart of this people has become thickened, and their ears are hard of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, lest they should understand with their heart and turn back, and I heal them. And blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I say to you, that many prophets and righteous ones long to see what you see, and did not see it, and to hear what you hear, and did not hear it. You then hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the rain, and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is that sown by the wayside. And that sown on rocky places, this is he who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy, yet he has no root in himself, but is short-lived, and when pressure or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he stumbles. And that sown among the thorns is he who hears the word, and the worry of this world age and the deceit of riches choke the word, and it becomes fruitless. And that sown on the good soil is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. Another parable he put before them, saying, The reign of the heavens has become like a man who sowed good seed in his field, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed darnel, which I think it means weeds, among the wheat, and went away. And when the blade sprouted and bore fruit, then the darnel also appeared. And the servants of the master of the house came and said to him, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? From where then does it have the darnel? And he said to them, a man, an enemy, did this. And the servant said to him, do you wish then that we go and gather them up? But he said, no, lest while you gather up the darnel, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at the time of the harvest I shall say to the reapers, first gather the darnel and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my granary. Another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of heavens is like a mustard seed which a man took out and sowed in his field, which indeed is less than all the seeds, but when it is grown it is greater than the plants and becomes a tree, so the birds of heaven come and dwell in its branches. Another parable he spoke to them, the rain of heavens is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal until all was leavened. Yeshua said all this to the crowd in parables, and he did not speak to them without a parable, so that what was spoken by the prophet might be filled, saying, I shall open my mouth in parables, I shall pour forth what has been hidden from the foundation of the world. Then, having sent the crowds away, Yeshua went into the house, and his taught ones came to him, saying, explain to us the parable of the darnel of the field. And he answering said to them, he who is sowing the good seed is the son of Adam, and the field is the world. And the good seed, these are the sons of the rain, but the darnel are the sons of the wicked one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil. And the harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the messengers. As the darnel then is gathered and burned in the fire, so it shall be at the end of this age. And the son of Adam shall send out his messengers, and they shall gather out of his reign all the stumbling blocks, and those doing lawlessness, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous shall shine forth as the sun, in the reign of their Father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Again, the reign of the heavens is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man having found it hid, and for joy over it he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the reign of the heavens is like a man, a merchant, seeking fine pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the reign of the heavens is like a dragnet that was thrown into the sea, and gathered some of every kind, which, when it was filled, they drew to the shore. And they sat down and gathered the good into containers, but threw the rotten away. Thus shall it be at the end of the age. The messengers shall come forth, and separate the wicked out of the midst of the righteous, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire. There shall be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yeshua said to them, have you understood all this? They said to him, yes, Master. And he said to them, therefore every scholar taught in the reign of the heavens is like a householder who brings out of his treasure matters renewed and old. And it came to be, when Yeshua had ended these parables, that he left there. And when he had come to his own country, he taught them in the congregation, so that they were astonished, and said, where did this one get this wisdom and miracles? Is this not the son of the carpenter? Is not his mother called Miriam? And his brothers Yaakov and Joseph and Shimon and Yehuda? And his sisters, are they not all with us? Where then did this one get all this? And they stumbled at him. But Yeshua said to them, a prophet is not unappreciated except in his own country and in his own house. And he did not do many miracles there because of their unbelief.